What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing a little Bastion guide. Going to give you some tips and tricks to help you master Bastion and hopefully rank up. Alright, without further ado, let's select our character. Alright, so Bastion's primary fire is going to do 25 damage per shot, 50 per head. You really want to make sure you hit those critical hits, because they're really going to come in clutch during primary fights. If you can keep always hitting the head, going to guarantee a lot of damage, a lot of ult charge really fast. One main thing you want to do is try to build your ult fast and always get a pick off with it. Alright, so let's look at some abilities. So we got the A36 tactical grenade. That's gonna gives us a little boost right there. That's why I prefer to use it as. Or if there's a huge cluster of enemies, I'll use a shooter at them. It does a decent amount of damage, about I think 100 damage. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 100 damage. So, but then what I primarily prefer to use is just using it as mobility. Always to jump away, but the problem is it does damage to you until you get your first perk, which is why I normally always pick Smart Bomb. It's way better than the ult perk, unless you wanted to use, say, your ult and then quick run to a fight. I mean, I'll get onto that point a little later. But now we got increased height, and we don't take any damage. So, one important tip to always remember is use your grenade as an escape, because you're always going to get dived by characters like Tracer, Diva, Ball, sometimes Winston's. I mean, you can usually kind of kill them unless you don't have your configuration. Reapers will jump you, Genjis will always be after you. So important thing is, so say Tracer's trying to jump me here. I'm going to quick look down, jump away. I mean, I actually hit her there with it. I mean, that could still work too. That's actually happened a couple of times where I've stuck someone, they've jumped me, and I've pushed my own self away. But now I say, where's Genji? So say Genji's jumping me. I'm shooting him, he starts to deflect. I'm going to quick aim down and then jump away. And if he's right next to me, it's going to do some damage, push him back, and then he'll have to dash to me. I mean, if he has the dash, then well, I kind of screwed there, but if he uses dash to run at me, then well, I'm pretty safe. And usually, hopefully a support can come and get me. So, that's one tip I would say with the grenade. Always use it for escape or shoot at an enemy if they're low. And don't forget, it can also ricochet around. So you can use these for some pretty cool trick shots. So now let's move on to the next ability. Your configuration. Oops, I did not mean to pick that. Okay. So, for starters, huge amounts of burst damage. You're mainly going to want to use this on tanks, because your main goal is to be the tank buster, and always look for the enemies when they make a mistake. That is one important thing I recommend you do. Analyze mistakes that the enemy team makes. If someone over pushes, take them out real fast with your configuration if you have it. Say I'm shooting at someone over here. I see a Tracer over here. They misplay. Actual. I guess wait for it again. But say I'm shooting over here at the enemy team. I'm looking at them. Their tank's pushing forward. Their DPS and supports are back there. They're one DPS over here. They're trying to make a flank. So then, if they start shooting, I notice it real quick. I can quick flick over, take them out really fast, or at least force them back, and then I can keep shooting at the tank in front line. That's the one thing you want to do. And even if they're like start a back way, just keep shooting, just keep holding down the trigger, because they'll keep seeing the bullets keep whizzing past, and they don't want to get hit with that unless they got some armor or something, speed boost, Lucio, trans, really anything like that. But just keep shooting them, because you want to make sure you keep building the damage. Don't care about your accuracy. That's the one unfortunate thing though of configuration. It does reduce your accuracy, so if you're just spamming on it, you're going to have low accuracy, even if you may be hitting a lot of your normal shots. Just a unfortunate thing about Bastion. And then, big tip to always remember when going against Tracer, they're most likely always going to pulse you. That's my experience. They're always going to run at you, quick throw the pulse bomb at you. If they don't shoot you, you got, so right away you got 350 HP. You can survive one pulse. Right, like if they got pulsed right now, I didn't take any damage. I'd survive it, and I have I think 17 HP, 13 HP, but based on one shot. So important thing to do, if you have your configuration, you get pulsed, hit it instantly, and you're going to take away a lot of the damage. I mean, if you're already taking a ton of damage before, you're going to die. But if I get stuck full HP, quick going into my configuration, I'm pretty sure I only lose like 200 HP. So big tip to remember, and then you can usually kill the Tracer afterwards, because Tracer's usually going to blink up to you, throw the pulse, and then recall. And then if you manage to live it, you could probably kill her if you had a tracker well enough. Because obviously you're going to still have your configuration up, so you're going to be able to just a quick annihilate her. That was my big tip. Now before, okay. We'll just go with this. We'll run with the major perk first before I restart over and do the other minor perk. So, I usually will pick self-repair. Mainly just because I want to make sure I stay in the fight, because sometimes my supports may not be with me, or I try to stay in the back and kind of midline. I don't want to be like fully frontline, unless if the tank is up there, or in my case when I do the open Q6v6, when the tanks are up there, I'll try to stay up with them and play with them, but then most of the time I'll try to play far back. The thing is, you're more of a threat from the far back, because if the front line dies, you can at least try to be second defense if they're low enough. You can quick try to at least take out 2 people if you're skilled enough, and the enemy team is not aware. Because that's happened before when in one match I was going against this one team. They're kind of rocking us for a while, and then we eventually got to defend. My main point was I just stay in the back. That was my whole goal, was stay in the back, force them forward. If they push forward, I go back. If they start retreating, I go forward a bit. I'm never right in the front line because I don't want to die. That is one important thing to always remember. You're not a frontline character. Unless you're doing a 1v1 or you know you can take them. But for the most part, you are not the front line. That's an important tip to always remember. And then, if you start taking some damage, go behind cover, start repair. But always remember this, because I make this mistake quite a lot, is I'll be walking with it, and I'll crouch, and then it cancels. So then you have to restart it, and then you go back up. So you can't crouch and heal at all. So just remember that. Alright, now let's take a look at the ult. So, you got an artillery strike. You can go to a zoom out mode like this, and you got 3 shots. I'm pretty sure it does 600 damage directly on the head. I might be mistaken. Let me grab some. I'm trying to remember, is there anyone that's actually? I know you could. I'm pretty sure you one-shot Doom, right? Yeah, so you're gonna one-shot. You can one-shot some character if it's directly under. The problem is, 90% of the time that's not going to happen unless you get a grab. Like, your Zarya's going to grab and then you ult in it. That was one combo I recommend you do if you have a Zarya. Use a grab or Malga. Malga uses cage fight. You use your ult in the cage fight too. Or another thing I like to use, always try to protect your team. Always also watch your tank. Watch where your tank is and watch what the enemy tank is doing to your tank. For instance, if say the enemy's running Malga, they run at your tank, cage fight them, or cage fight really anyone on your team. Quick ult, and just ult into the cage fight. Because most of the time you can usually kill the Malga or severely weaken him to the point that he's about to die. And if you see him in there, quick, go into configuration and just try to break the ult as fast as possible and get your teammates out. That's one thing I recommend. Because the main thing you want to do is be a team player. You want to watch where your team is, where your teammates are, what the enemy team is doing. Try to always keep eyes on them. That's one thing. And also listen to anything that might be happening. Alright, we're gonna restart real quick. and go over the other perks that I missed. Alright, so for minor perk, we got the Armored Artillery, which gives you 300 extra HP onto your artillery. So, I mean, I don't really know when this is going to come in handy a whole lot, maybe. The only one I can actually see is, say there's a team fight happening, like right around the corner, I ult real quick right here, launch the ult. Now I still got my 650 HP. I still have it for quite a bit of time. That's basically the only thing I see, is if you're about to run to a team fight and you got the extra HP. I mean, it's not bad, but also, to me, it's not the most useful because I'd rather just have the grenade to get away and not take damage with it. Because there's been times where I'm trying to get away from someone, I kill the enemy, but I also end up killing myself because the grenade also kills me. Now, let's look at the Lindholm explosives. So this is going to change your configuration from doing actual normal bullets to doing large explosive rounds. I'm pretty sure you get off about 7 if you just continuously fire, and it does 150 damage per hit. I don't know what splash damage is, but it does do a bit of splash damage on there. Although one tip I did find out to use is if you shoot and then use grenade at the same time you stick it, it's going to instantly kill. So you can just quick swap to a different target. What I like to use with the Lindholm explosives, the only time I mainly will use it is if the enemy team is too far from me. So like reach with the like using the actual just bullets. It's not going to do enough damage. Say they're playing like heavy like sniper comp. It's more of a sniper map. I can't seem to get close. I could just peek a corner and just spam at them. Even if I don't kill them, I'm still doing 150 damage to them. And I'm guaranteeing them to actually back away from me. And if they're already low, that's going to be probably instant kill. So that's the one time I'd say to use it, but for most part I prefer just normal configuration because it's way easier to burn down tanks. So, but if you want longer range and more consistent damage, definitely go with the explosive rounds. I mean, I barely use it. Sometimes I will, or sometimes I'll just misclick and I get mad at myself, but sometimes it still works out. It's not the worst thing in the world, but if they got a tank like Wrecking Ball, and now I'm just going like this at them every single time, versus I could just be lasering. I mean, it's also a personal preference. I just also like the sound of the normal configuration too. But I mean, if I were to hit every shot on the Wrecking Ball, I'd probably be able to kill him, but I just prefer the more consistent burning type damage. But yeah, that's the character of Bastion in a nutshell. I hope this guide helps you, and take care. God bless.